Hello, my name is Mr. Slusser, Assistant Band Director at Sartarshan Middle School. I'm going to be going over the Etude number 1 for the Region Band Etude for trombone and euphonium. The actual Etude is referred to as Etude number 8. This is the Andante. I'm going to be going over measures 1 through 8 today, okay? First thing I want you to do is make sure you have the music out. You have something either to write with, you print it out, or you are trying to take notes down on the spiral notebook as I'm going through it with you. All right, as we're looking through here, if you would please note that we're in the key of concert, F. Okay, we only have 1 flat, B flat. We're in 9/8 time, which means we have 9 beats in a measure. The 8th note is getting the beat. You need to refer to the rhythm video in regards to the rhythm. I'm not going to be going over rhythm with you, just music elements, okay? This is referred to as a pickup note. That's also A natural in 2nd position. Please don't forget, okay? All right, so I'm moving through here. We're just marking notes right now. This is an A natural. That gets a 2nd. Here's another A natural in measure 2. The tie here is going to be 5 counts long, don't forget, and that's the 2nd position as well. The last note to pick up into 3 is the 2nd position as well, okay? All right, I'm scanning through measure 3. Let's see, this here is a natural in 2nd. Make sure you mark that. This is an E natural in 2nd. Please do not play 3rd. That is not 3rd, that is 2nd. And then in measure 4, all of measure 4 is in 2nd position, okay? Measure 5 is identical to measure 1, so make sure you mark that A natural there. Measure 6 is A natural is the 1st note. The C's that are above the staff are in 3rd position, okay? Measure 7, I start on a high F, that's in 1st position. This is an E natural, not E flat, that's a 2nd position. All E naturals are in 2nd, okay? As I go down the slur, last note of the 8th notes here is an A natural with a quarter note 8th natural. Those are all in 2nd. And then when I get to measure 8, there's nothing really we need to mark position-wise, okay? Now follow through with me. There's lots of slurs that are going through here. So when I get into real measure 1, this is a tie that's worth 4 counts. And then for euphonium, you're going to need to articulate that A right here and then slur all of this. Just make sure you guys and gals are making sure you're re-articulating where after the slur ends, okay? And just making sure euphoniums that you're doing like you're just scanning through and making sure you're playing the correct articulation. Now trombones, okay? So I'm going to look through this part right here. A to D, that is going to be a natural slur. So I'm going to think ta, ah, because I don't need a tongue there. D to F is a tongue slur. I think lu, so ah, lu. And then F, D, F, that's all tongue slurs. So lu, lu, lu. It's a lighter tongue. Then I need to re-articulate here with a ta, okay? And then same thing here. A to B flat is going to be a tongue slur, okay? Now through measure 3, euphoniums, you're just thinking of ta, 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 ta. Trombones, you're going to be doing a tongue slur here. So D to C, tongue slur, natural slur, C to B flat. We are re-articulate here. So B flat to A is going to be a ta, lu, lu, okay? That's all tongue slurs there. And then F, E natural, D, that's all tongue slurs there, okay? So I'm thinking ta, lu, ah, ta, lu, lu, ta, lu, lu, ta. Okay, for the trombones. And then euphoniums, like I said, you're just making sure that you're thinking about your slurs, okay? All right, now this is a actual lip slur. It's going to stay in 2nd position, okay? So I'm going to just hold that 2nd position down. So I'm going to be thinking ta, ah, ta, or toe for that lower note, okay? And then I have a toe pick up into that next measure. Measure 5 is identical to measure 1, so I'm not going to go over that again, okay? Now, measure 6 is very similar to measure 2. However, this is actually going to be a slur, both for euphonium and trombone. That's going to be a natural slur. So make sure this A to C right here, you're going to think ta, and then here you re-articulate with a ta, okay? Measure 7, euphoniums, you're just going to slur all that completely, okay, except for the 1st note. Obviously, I'm going to say ta here, and then I'm going to re-articulate the ta there. And then euphoniums, you're going to do a natural slur there as well, going down to G and re-articulate that F. Now, trombones, high F to high E is a tongue slur, so ta, lu. E to D, depending on where you go. If you go to D in 4th, you can do, it's a tongue slur. But if I go to 1st, that's going to be a natural slur. And the same thing here. So you need to decide for yourself, are you going to go 2, 4, 3? To which that would be a tongue slur and then a natural slur here. Or if you do 2, 1, 3, it would be a natural slur here, a tongue slur here. Okay, and then you need to decide what you're going to do for yourself on that. And then C to B flat, no matter what, is a natural slur. So I'm going to be thinking, let's see, I'm going to be thinking lu, ah, lu, and then rearticulate with a ta here. Okay, and then that is a tongue slur, so that gets a lu, and then I rearticulate with a ta. Okay, remember at any point, if you need to stop and pause and go back and listen to what I said again, please do that at your own discretion. Okay, now a lot of this I'm going to be doing just groups of 2. Okay, and I'm going to start actually at a slower tempo. I'm going to start at about 100 for the 8th note. Okay, and I'm going to start in the pickup right here, and I'm going to go to this note right here. Okay, now you need to make sure that you are doing letter names and positions on your own. I'm going to give you one example of this, and then you need to make sure you're doing it all on your own by yourself, okay? So I'm going to start with positions, starting at that pickup, and 1, 2, 3, ready. 2, 4, 2, 4, 1, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2. Make sure you breathe there, okay? And notice I did the crescendo too, okay? Letter names, and I'm going to be saying like beef for B flat because it's easier to say beef, okay? All right, here we go. And 1, 2, 3, breathe. A, D, F, D, F, A, B, F, A. And that gets me all the way to that, that breath mark there, okay? All right, test note. And 1, 2, 3, breathe. Now, I'm really glad I did that. At this slow of a tempo, my body is not going to be able to do a crescendo and get to that breath mark. So either you need to take the crescendo out and try to just do it normal, and then as you get faster, you add that crescendo in so you can make it to that breath mark, because that's something written in the music you have to do, okay? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start on the pickup to 3 and go to the tie and measure 4. You need to pause whenever you need to and practice on your own. Make sure you're letter naming and positioning. I showed you the example in measure 1 and 2. You need to do that for all the measures. Understand? I'm not going to take your time to do that. You need to do that on your own. Pick up to 3, test note. And 1, 2, 3, breathe. Once again, at this tempo, I'm having to separate that slur in measure 4 because I run out of air at this tempo, okay? And in my opinion, that's okay. Now, if your director says, please don't do that, then you need to follow the discretion of your director, okay? All right, pick up from the end of 4 into 5 now, and I'm going all the way to the tie and 6. And again, you need to pause whenever you need to make sure you're doing your own practicing letter naming and positioning, okay? All right, here we go. Pick up to 5, test note. Doing piano here, just kind of like the very beginning as well. And 1, 2, 3, breathe. And give yourself enough time there to breathe, okay? And now we're doing the pickup into 7 all the way to the tie F and measure 8, okay? Test note, high C, oh, not high C, sorry, middle C. And 1, 2, 3, breathe. Okay. Now, I also want to just give you kind of an example. So, me personally, as I'm working through it at this tempo, I'm struggling with some of the breathing. But if I were to go a little faster, like 150 as the 8th note, if you notice, my breathing playing gets a little better for me. Here's the beginning to 8. 1, 2, and ready. And for for me personally, that was a lot easier for my breathing plan. But you cannot rush to do that. You need to make absolutely sure that you're going your own steps to make sure you're going at your own pace, okay? All right, good luck on your preparation for this first week on measures 1 to 8 on Etude number 1.